There. It's Friday. Another Friday.
Yabba Dabba Doo is right because it is Friday.
That's
Indeed.
right.
We are back.
We are back. It's good to be back on the air again, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a little hiatus there
We
for a
did.
while, and this
Oh,
is
yeah.
what, our third or fourth week we're back
Yes.
just for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you have a good week?
Yes. Very full. Very full. Getting ready for the kiddies. They're going to show up on Monday. The city's program.
Is it a camp?
Yes. Summer camp for the kids. So
Wow. How many kids can you have?
they can have 9 kids for each room and
Wow.
1 instructor. So their limit is 10 per room.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have how many rooms?
3.
So that's like 30 people.
Correct. 27 kids.
And so is there a fee for this that the parents have to pay? Or you don't know?
I'm out of that loop.
You just have to open up the door and close
I'm just
it.
the facility guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then clean up afterwards?
No, I'm blessed with they have actually had some grant money available for that, and they have a maintenance company that will take care of that. So at 5:00, somebody will come in
Every day?
every day.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, and restock the
The bathroom?
the restrooms, and
Hand sanitizers everywhere?
yeah, well, that's all them. So yeah, however they want to do that, and but
Do they use the kitchen?
they do. They're using the refrigerator. I don't know how they're going to. The kitchen is really not it's a caterer's kitchen.
Right.
So
you just bring your stuff in and
right. So they bring the food in and put it in the fridge, and then they'll distribute it to the kids, and maybe they'll take them to the park where they can eat outside, which might be nice.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And there's a big park there.
Yeah.
How did I didn't go last Sunday. How did the green market go?
I have no idea. I suspect it was pretty good.
Oh, I figured maybe you'd stroll down just to see what was happening.
I got there about 2:00.
Oh, and that was over.
It was all done, and yeah. So,
And I think they're only having food vendors, aren't they? To sell food.
Mostly food, but they are starting to every week. There's more activity. There's other vendors will be allowed.
Okay, and will it go a longer span? Because when it was at the Riverwalk, we had part of it till noon, and the other part was till 4.
To 4, and that was to accommodate the folks that wanted to stay and listen to the live music.
Right.
So I think it still sunsets at 1:00.
Okay.
I think that's the
9 to 1.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
They had a pretty good vendors at the fairgrounds.
good. Yes,
So if it's the same vendors,
I suspect
then you'll
as
have a
much.
pretty good vendor show up,
Mhm,
for
mhm.
food.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. They had coffee people there. They had pastry people there. They had
Yeah.
organic vegetables, and then farm grown vegetables. And they had a guy with meat,
Yeah.
different kinds of frozen meats, and
Mm.
lamb and beef and chicken and things like that. And seafood.
Uh-huh.
They had,
I'm always on a seafood diet.
I know. When
I-
you see it, you eat it.
If I see the food, I eat it. Yes. But I'm bummed. Yes. Indeed. So we're expecting a call at another 5 minutes from Blind Creek Beach. So that'll be good.
Oh, yes. We'll find out what happened. And now that it's sanctioned, so do you have to wear a mask on the beach? I know it's clothing optional, so you have to keep your clothes on until you get to the sand.
Right.
So does that mean that you put a mask on when you're walking down?
If you're in Los Angeles County, yes. I don't know if that's true down here.
Okay.
But yeah, in California, you have to, I think the beach, they have a clothing optional beach there called Black's Beach.
Okay.
But but their beaches do require that you wear a face mask.
Wow.
And they have special hoops that you can bring with you. That gives you your 6 foot
right. Like a
radius.
great big hula hoop.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
To give you your social distancing.
Right.
So, but if you bring a blank, your beach towel,
Mm-hmm.
and you bring 2 of them and you go crisscross, that's the same thing.
It should work out.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because they're at least 6 feet.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Longer than we are.
Right.
It must be.
Exactly.
My poor son, he's like 6'4". I forget. He's crazy tall. And his feet always hang over the bed. Yeah.
Well, my niece is dating someone that's 7'2".
Good night.
I mean, really.
Wow.
I mean, he almost touches any ceiling.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in a regular
He has
house.
to duck to
He has
go.
to duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was that tall when he was like 9 years old. He was really tall
Wow.
from little up.
Wow.
You know, they didn't believe that he was like in 6th grade. They thought he was like a junior in high school. And he said,
Aw.
"No, I'm just a little kid."
A big little kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So tell me about things over at the your hair shop.
Oh, it's going along.
Mhm.
I have releases now. People have to sign a release before they get their
Really?
hair done
Okay.
to say that they don't believe they're sick and they're not carrying anything with them.
You don't have
And
to take their temperature that way.
my temperature gun has not come yet. I have one
Oh.
ordered.
It
Yes.
still hasn't
And
arrived.
it still hasn't arrived. I ordered it the beginning of May. So it's on the slow boat from China, I'm sure.
Wow.
But
Have you been following? Do they give you like a tracking label?
it's somewhere out in Oz.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
I look on it all the time and it hasn't moved.
Wow.
So wherever it is, it is.
Wow.
Eventually one day I'll get it.
Yeah.
So people walk in the door with their mask on,
Yeah.
and I have the air purifier and the HEPA filter, and I bought one for the house too, so that both places
Okay.
have
Mhm.
no viruses,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
no
Mhm.
pollutants or
Mhm.
there's another word with that. Allergens.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
And so that takes care of that. And I put plastic between the dryer chairs and move
Mhm.
them out.
Mhm.
I'm washing my hands constantly, and I do one person at a time.
Aha.
So if it's shampoo, cut, and blow dry, I mark off the whole hour for that person.
Uh-huh.
Then it gives me time to sanitize the chair, clean the floor, clean the washroom, and clean anything that they've touched.
Yes.
It's mind-boggling at the end of the day. It
Mm.
like hurts your head.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think
Oh,
about.
I know. I know. When I come in the station here,
Right,
before
you got to wash everything
I
down.
wash everything down,
Y-
and then when
I
I
come in and
leave,
sit in one spot,
when I leave, I have to do
do
everything
everything again.
again. Hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, and I do the same thing at the Flagler.
Right.
So all the door handles and
Right.
all the touched surfaces.
Right.
Hmm.
So now that you're going to have kiddos there,
Oof. Well,
but you said they have, but are they going to really sanitize?
that's
you
all
know.
them. So if
But will you have to go back over that the next morning and do the door handles and everything again so that you know?
I'll probably do all the areas that I'm going to be associated with. My office area will be their no-go zone.
Right.
So I'll probably still do all
Yeah.
the.
And I wash the floor every night,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can only do whatever you can do,
Right. Exactly.
you know.
So we had the garden club ladies over at the Flagler today.
Oh, nice.
It was very, very good, and they came up with their menu list of items that we have a courtyard there,
Right.
as you well know, and there's some planter boxes there,
Mhm.
and the entry to that area is some plants, and so they're coming up with a whole notion about how they want to take the mulch out and take all the plants out in that entry area and put a different kind of plants and then put white rock down.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
yeah.
Because they get mildewy.
Yeah, well.
And who has to end up cleaning that?
Well, yeah, that's a good question.
You know,
yeah.
I think I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
I'll leave my 2 cents out.
We'll see how it goes.
Right.
But that's the initial.
I mean, initially it'll look beautiful.
Yes. Right.
And then next year or the year after, when new ladies come into the garden club, it'll change all over again.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so we'll just put it on a maintenance schedule.
I'd rather see it with like the rubberized mulch that keeps its color and doesn't go away.
Terribly expensive. That's what we.
But when you do it the first one time,
Yeah.
that's all you need. You just I even
over-
rake my I use regular mulch, but I have a little rake and I can rake it at different times and turn it over,
Hmm.
and the color comes right back.
Yeah.
Because now it's sunk down to the bottom. So when you flip it over,
Right.
you know, it's
Okay.
easier.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll take pictures and bring them
Yes.
when it's done.
It's pretty exciting.
Yes, it is exciting. And and summer camp will be all summer.
June and July.
Okay.
So the remainder of June and all of July. So I get the facility back in August, and we've got new windows scheduled to go in. Sliding glass door windows. They're going to remove the windows facing the river in the formal banquet room,
Okay.
and these will be the high impact PGT slider glass doors with the upper transom. Beautiful sliding glass doors.
Okay.
And it's all been donated.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Each door is at least a $30,000 door.
Whoa.
Yeah. 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 No, I'm sorry, $10,000. 10,000 for each door. So
Okay.
there's 30,000, I think, is what they're have budgeted that they're going to donate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Is this a one person?
This is going to be the
Oh,
window contractor is going to do that, and PGT is actually going to underwrite it.
Okay. What's PGT?
Pittsburgh
Plate and glass.
Well, PBG. That's yes. They're
Pittsburgh
part of
Plate and Glass. PG.
Yes, PPG is yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everyone uses these little, initials, and I have no clue half the
Right.
time what they're talking
Right.
about.
Right.
It could mean 2 or 3 different things.
Right.
Sometimes.
PPG is
Yes.
well known.
Right. Yes.
They've been in the, and paint, and I, funny because I have that paint store crossover, right? In paint store and glass retailing go together.
Oh, okay.
Because the original paint stores were quasi hardware stores.
Doors too. Yes.
And so people would have broken windows, and the paint store guy would cut the glass for the windows, and
Right.
have the glazing tools and the window glaze and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can reset their window panes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So even as a youngster, I learned how to cut glass. Geez, I don't know, 13, 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they jealousy windows back then?
There were some there, but it was just the old
Up and down windows.
single hung windows.
Right.
A lot of single hung windows, and then a lot of windows and window frames. But a lot of old farmhouses too. When we moved to the Utica area, that a lot of old farmhouses there. So that was the old the old window, glazing. We had to dig the glaze of the old dried out glaze out and take the glazer points out, and
Right.
we had actually our original, for custom picture framing, our original point driver to hold the pieces, the glass and the backing and the artwork together. We used the glazer point gun because there was no point driver for picture
Wow.
framers, not till maybe late 70s.
Really?
Yeah. Mid to
Wow.
late 70s. And then now you can't even buy a glazer gun. They don't even make them anymore. I don't know how they do glazing.
They come like that from the factory?
Well, Red Devil used to make the glazing guns, which was just a point. It's just it used to shoot a diamond shaped staple.
Okay.
Right. That's how you would
Mm-hmm.
put the glass window pane into a window frame, and then you put like a thin piece of cardboard, like you'd use from a shoebox. So thin cardboard, right,
Okay.
is a spacer, so you don't
Right.
break the glass. And then you put your gun on top of the cardboard, and then you'd
Shoot
shoot the glazer point, and that would hold the glass in place. And then you would put you take a glaze, and then you make a rope out of it.
Uh-huh.
You lay it into the window frame, and then you use a putty knife and smooth it out. That was the whole process back
Wow.
then. Now
I don't know what I don't know that you could do that or just buy the whole window and get it put in.
I got the opportunity to relive all that experience when I owned the Victorian house next door here.
Oh, I
had
bet.
had to redo some of the windows there. It was a lot of the windows. The glass was still good because there's 100-year-old glass in many of the windows,
Uh-huh.
but the glazing had dried out, so I had to reglaze a lot of those windows. So
Well, that was right up your alley.
I was born to do that.
Yeah. Amongst other things.
Yeah. It's
So,
funny how you develop these you learn these skills and you never know how you're going to apply them.
right. Right. It's just like being in school and in chemistry.
Hmm.
Why would I need chemistry? I use chemistry every day with my hair color and different
Right.
things that I do.
Right.
I never thought that, well,
Right.
what do I need to know this for?
Yeah.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
Even the basics.
Right. It's just good to know.
Yes. And like my father always said, if you don't know how to do something, there is instructions.
Right.
Read the book.
Right.
Don't think that you can do this because there might not be a shortcut
Yeah.
unless you really know what you're doing.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
So Nelson never called.
Well, he will.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
I didn't actually, I was running out from the shop, so I didn't actually hook back in with him to remind him. But he usually is, he'll have a V8 pretty soon and
Okay.
he'll call in.
All right. Would you want to do the good, bad, and the ugly?
We can do that.
Let me change my setup here. All right. Here we go. So we'll start off with
I think each week is getting better.
yes. All right. So this is our weekly feature called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Go ahead.
So the good this week is Bathtub Beach opened up and everyone can go there, and they've had a lot of turtle nests. I guess from no one going to Bathtub Beach, the turtles felt safe there, and they have a numerous amount. So if you go there, be careful of the nest. Also, it was announced today that the Boys and Girls Club in St. Lucie County is going to have their chili cook-off at Causeway Cove Marina, where it will be outside social distancing, and it'll be held on July 11th. And we're going to see if WPSL stands up to another win.
Yes.
I think it was third place last year. We're second.
Yes, Mr. G, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he's the reigning guy.
It's Nelson calling me.
He's calling you. He
Yeah.
probably forgot the studio phone number.
Right. I'm gonna message him.
Okay. All right. We have more items here on the good, bad, and the ugly. And if you have some good, bad, and ugly items that you want to share with us, maybe when we come back from break, you can give us a call here at 220-9788 and share your good, your bad, your ugly story.
Right. I still have bad and ugly to go.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Okay. The bad is COVID-19 cases are rising since
Yes.
reopening.
Mm-hmm.
The ugly is it's the anniversary of the Pulse nightclub
Yes.
shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in Orlando. So
Right.
that happened 5 years ago today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then we are in this together. Reach out if you are stressed because COVID-19 has taken a toll on everybody. If you have problems, you need anything, call your mom, call your dad, call a friend, go on social media. Everyone is here to help each other. We are in this together. Call the crisis line. Let's all lives matter. So that's my good, bad, and ugly.
All right. Very good. Excellent. And we've got Nelson on the line. And got to cue up the music for Nelson here.
But if there's an audience to be found, we'll be streaking it round.
Whoops.
Whoop,
All
what
right.
happened? You missed it.
I don't know.
It slipped
it's-
out of the mask.
We got.
Hey, Nelson, are you on the line?
I'm on the line.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry we couldn't invite you into the studio here because we have to do that social distancing.
Right.
And I didn't know how involved you still were. I knew you had a little hiatus, doing everything with Blind Creek. So that's why I put an email out there because I didn't know if I was going to reach you or reach someone else that's in the publicity program there, and so I was glad that you reached out to me back, and you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
So tell us, it was a big official day 2 weeks ago that St.
Yep,
Lucie County.
Last Tuesday was what was our best day yet. That was the day there our commissioners in St. Lucie County finally brought in the Blind Creek Beach or how it gets used anyway into their fold, and so now we have a county partner with the beach.
Mm-hmm. Now, according to the newspaper article that my wife was reading, that half the beach is going to be optional, and then the other half will be just regular beach. How does that work? Or did she misread that?
She may not have misread what she read. However, whoever wrote that article doesn't know what they're
okay.
doing.
Okay.
Right now, the way it stood, as far as what they passed that last Tuesday night,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff actually used the entire boundary of Blind Creek Park as what he presented.
Mm-hmm.
So that caused us a little bit of concern amongst one of many way, Franny, and she would rather see a boundary placed there, or at least within the ordinance or the resolution or something written saying Blind Creek or the nude use of Blind Creek is only here. It's only between these boundaries.
Designated area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we were talking with Jeff about is from our input anyway, we would like to see it go all the way to the north entrance where Little Mud Creek is, and because it gets just as where we are in the main entrance, we have a lot more traffic going there than it ever was by anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing that's happening down at the north end, as people are using that for overflow or just going there to get away from the big crowds and stuff. It's more popular down there for nude use than anybody else that would ever go there.
Right.
So we're hoping that we can do that and just get that whole stretch of Blind Creek used for nude use.
Okay.
Because if still, if you don't like it, there's 21 miles of other beaches you can go to if you don't want to be there.
Right. Right.
There's plenty of other beaches to go.
Do they still have a food truck coming?
We haven't had a food truck in quite a while. We haven't for a little bit. It's based on whoever is doing that and
Okay.
what they have available. But the last guy that was there, he had apparently, from what we understood, all the permits and stuff that he needed. And then later on, we understood that he didn't have the permits and stuff that he needed.
Oh, wow.
So that's been the biggest problem with the food trucks and stuff. We encourage anybody with a food truck to come there. On the weekends, I would think they would do pretty well.
Yeah.
I would think so too, because you have enough beachgoers.
Oh, sure.
And
I mean,
people get
on any
hungry.
given weekend, we'll have between 400 to 600 people down on that beach.
Good.
Wow.
Wow.
That's well. Are you still doing the big skinny dip this year?
That's something we're going to talk about on Sunday. Chances are, I mean, we're looking. It would be a month away from now,
Right, in July.
and so and we're still in the throes of this COVID issue and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, even though the beach is open, they're looking for that social distancing, and one of the things that we're quite grouped when we do that the skinny dip. One of the things we talked about doing is what happened, not from anything else, but what happened for the January 1st when we have our winter skinny dip.
Okay.
Is that everybody
like a
up and
polar
down the
bear.
beach? There must have been like 100 plus or so people there on the beach.
Right.
They were all spread out on the beach. And at 2:00, when the time came, they all just stood up like Cindy was telling me. They all stood up like lemmings,
Yeah.
and walked into the beach, walked into the water.
Yeah.
But nobody So maybe we can do something along those lines.
Ah,
Just have everybody stay up and down the beach.
right.
Keep track of it yourself. At 2 o'clock, stand up and walk into the water, and that might be a thing.
Okay.
That we could.
There
Well,
you go.
all right.
So is it everyone have to wear a mask?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
Lucky thing we don't live in Los Angeles County because they do.
Yes,
Hmm.
or even. Well, let me see. I was just talking to my daughter. I know they wear masks quite a bit up in New York,
Hmm.
but not necessarily just to be outside, but definitely when you go into someplace. So,
Right.
Well, I think most people here wear them when you go in someplace too.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
outside in the open air, when I walk in the morning, I don't wear a mask.
Oh, it's difficult to breathe.
It is.
Yeah.
yeah. So at the beach, there are some people that do for whatever they feel comfortable with, and then most people I don't think do. I mean, you have all that fresh air that's there. That was one of the things I thought was taken away from us as a benefit. Was to close down those open areas, anything that the national parks, the beaches.
Mhm.
People don't necessarily group around those things,
Yeah.
but I know what did it for them was about the time that this thing was highlighting. Then they had spring break, and
Mhm.
they
Right.
do group. So I
Wow.
think that scared everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't because they didn't do any social distancing.
No,
Not at
No.
all. Or wear a mask or do anything. They were just at the party.
right.
Right.
All right. Very good. So so things are going well, and is there new signage from the road directing people to the beach or changing the designation? Or is there any acknowledgement of that, or are there
That's on
restrooms
the way.
coming
That
and
was,
things of that sort?
yeah, that was one of the very first things that Jeff wanted to do. That was going to happen immediately as soon as the commission voted it in.
Mm-hmm.
Was signs,
Right.
and so we're asking about that. We're also asking questions about one of the things we're going to discuss on Sunday is the porta potties that we had in there. We removed them because of this thing. We were reluctant to bring them back because of this thing. Still,
Right.
I mean, you talk about a place that would just
Right.
Right.
house that.
Yes. And it's such a
don't
small
clean.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they don't
Yeah.
have the dressing rooms open at any of the department stores. You have to buy the clothes, take them home, and try them on. And if they don't fit, bring them back.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I can see, and there's a lot of public bathrooms that are just closed. They don't
Yeah.
want people in there. They'd have to be constantly sanitizing them after each and every person. And I cringe. I shouldn't say this, but I cringe when someone comes to the shop and wants to use the bathroom because then that's another 20 minutes that I've got to go in there and clean everything that they've touched.
Mm.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I've been traveling, you get rest stops and welcome centers and whatnot. Those bathrooms are still open, and they're immaculate.
Mhm.
And so you can see that they've probably stepped up the cleaning on them. There's somebody just there all day long, and that's what they do is they just cycle from one bathroom to the other.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Yep.
That's not the case with the porta potties.
No.
No. No, not at all.
So even
Yeah.
with one of them, we were told that there was one supplier. I think it's called United. What they're doing now is that there's two trucks that show up. One truck to go pick up the old ones, and the other truck to drop off new ones. And so they sanitize them back at the plant, back at the
Right.
base or wherever
Mhm, mhm.
wherever that is. Still, even twice a week, there's 3 or 4 days that it's not being touched or sanitized. And
Right.
so it kind of presents a problem. So when we asked the question, some of the feedback that we got was things are starting to open up, and they're suggesting that we go ahead and do the porta potties. And so we may just do that with a sign saying, "It's on you. Enter at your own risk. Sanitize yourself. Be your own be your own sanitizer."
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I have to have them sign a release when they come into the shop. So you could make a sign like a release sign saying we will not be responsible if all this happens.
Right.
Because you don't
Well-
know it doesn't happen till 10 to 14 days after you've come in contact with it sometimes. So it could be 2-3 weeks later that they were at the beach and or in a porta potty, and then all of a sudden they come down with the flu or a
Oh,
virus.
sure. And even by that range, you would have no idea where you might have picked that up.
Right,
So
exactly.
to try to pinpoint it to that was the place would be idiotic. So there's due diligence and just making people aware and um, just making people aware that they ought to go in there with their own sanitizer. They
There
should
you
take
go.
care of themselves, which
Mhm.
is probably a decent awareness that
Yeah,
people should.
disinfectant wipes. Go in, wipe it down, or wipe it down after you're done, and for the next person, and
Right.
you're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
So
right.
we have to go on break. Do you want to stay on the line and hang with us for a little
Sure.
bit?
Sure, I'll hang out with you.
All right.
Okay, great.
Very good.
We'll be back shortly.
jungle out there. Disorder and confusion everywhere. No one seems to care.
All right, Nelson. Quick question. What TV show is this song from?
Poison in the very air we breathe. You know what's in the water that you drink. Well, I do.
Do you have any idea?
That's Randy Newman, right?
It is Randy Newman. Very good. And it's from the TV show Monk. And,
That is it. God, I used to watch that show. I love that show.
right, because it's too funny. So he was the world's most interesting germaphobe detective. But you really, in today's world, in order to get along, you almost need to be a germaphobe.
I know a couple.
Right. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And traveling. You mentioned that you're traveling. How are the accommodations and what are they doing out there in the world as far as, if you get a motel room, is there like a paper on the door saying it was totally sanitized, or if you go in, it has some kind of a notice letting you know what they've done?
Well, typically when you check into a hotel, you would assume it's been cleaned. I mean, they do go through that and they clean everything. You usually have new sheets, new towels, new everything. The whole thing's been cleaned. So there is no special note. And as far as hotels, I've only been to one. When I took a trip out to Texas a month and a half, 2 months ago, maybe. I stayed in one hotel. I was in Texas because they were actually open, and I believe I was the only person there. I saw one other vehicle there, and I know there was a person working in the. So I think I was the only guest in that whole place.
Wow. Because I know Marriott, I think it's the Marriott or one of them shows you on the TV that they sealed the door, and you have to break that paper seal saying that it was, COVID-19 sanitized or whatever.
Wow. So where you went in Texas, is that anywhere close to Boca Chica?
No, I was just above Houston.
Oh, okay.
It's a little town or sub community called Spring, Texas.
All right.
And I went out there, and since I've been out there, I no longer have a need. Well, maybe not ever, but to stay in a hotel because I bought an RV, and that was what my trip was out there.
Oh, excellent!
Oh.
Are you and Robin done with the RV you were working on?
Oh no, God no.
That's still in progress because I know she has an RV.
Huh?
She has an RV that she uses, and then you guys bought an Airstream, didn't you? And then you were refurbishing the Airstream
for her own.
Right.
It's just a little smaller, and then we have this large one that we're trying to re-innovate. And then I bought something newer that doesn't not need a lot of work. It's still used. It's a 2016. I got a Class C RV.
So do you drive it, or is it a pull along or a fifth wheel?
I drive it.
Okay.
Nice.
That's nice.
So how many gallons do you get to the mile?
Exactly. I think that's pretty close.
That wasn't lost on you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. What is it, like 4 or 5 miles
to the
gallon?
Yeah.
I think I was pulling a trailer because I had my truck on the back of a trailer on the way back.
Right.
Okay.
So pulling that plus this, I was getting about 7 miles to the gallon.
Oh, that's really not bad, all considered.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So you might be looking at what, 9?
My daughter and the grandkids and stuff. So I'll see. I'm not pulling anything this time, so I'll see what it actually does.
Yeah, I'm going to be guessing you're going to be looking at maybe 9 to 11.
Yeah, I think 9 is probably fair.
Yeah. If you're going downhill, closer to 11.
Well, don't be like Lucy and pick up the rocks along the way.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so this is a feature. This is the time in the show we talk about goofy items ripped from the headlines. Do you not have any items that you in your travels have thought was pretty unusual things, that something you came across that was just either an experience or something that you read on on a street sign or anything like that was terribly unusual in recent times?
I think you need to give him
A little heads up.
yeah, do one
Okay,
so that he'll
let me
know
show you.
what you're talking
Okay,
about.
well, for example, Lindsay Lohan was in she was in Thailand, and she got bitten by a snake, and she had commented to the local publication there that she didn't understand how a snake even begins to organize a trip like that. Oh my goodness. And here's an item out of China. Pigs die as houses are blown down.
It's the wolf
Yeah.
doing that, apparently.
Yeah.
And and let's see now. This is out of the BBC. A sewer was blocked by a large poo. That's spelled Pooh. It was a very large Winnie the Pooh that got jammed into their sewer system, and it backed up their sewer because it was jammed up by a large poo. So I thought that was rather unusual. And let's see now. Let's see now. This was out of a police blotter. Cops realized tiger is a stuffed animal after a 45-minute standoff.
That must have been a big stuffed animal.
Right? Oh, it was a life-size stuffed animal. So
that's funny. 45 minutes later, it hasn't moved in 45 minutes. Maybe
it's
Right.
It probably is safe to approach. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
So and this is a strange one out of again, another item ripped from the headlines. One-armed man applauds the kindness of strangers. I don't know what
What is he? Does he flap it like a flipper?
I don't know. Oh God. Anyways, it's just so these are little funny things that I come across. Here's a sign that somebody saw in a retail store that sells freezers. Okay, so the sign lists the capacity. So think about this. This is the way it's written. One person, 3 to 7 cubic feet. A small family, you need 8 to 14 cubic feet, and a medium to large family, 15 to 26 cubic feet. So that's your capacity. So it's like, are you putting the people in the freezer or
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was the way it was worded was not best. So
Right.
No.
yes,
Standing room only.
yes, yes.
I think the only sign that I saw that I thought that was interesting, I was on one of my travels, is I was walking by, there was a place that was in a renovated state.
Mm-hmm.
So the walls were ripped down. It at one time looked like it might have been a restaurant. And it had it was open air. The doors were off of it, windows. It was in the middle of whatever kind of refurbishment they were going through.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big marquee or a sign out front that said that how did it go? It says it had the name of the place, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it said whatever that name was, and it said no open.
No open.
No open. So I took the picture of that and I sent it to a friend of mine and says that apparently they were paying by the letter.
So just the facts. We're not gonna get too wordy with this. Yes.
Right.
Yes. This is another.
Not that you couldn't tell they weren't open just by the building itself.
Right. No open. No soup for you.
That's right.
A midget sued the grocer, and he cited belittling remarks was the reason why the lawsuit. So.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So anyway, so that's our items ripped from the headlines. So anyway, so that's last week we talked about a couple that were getting married, and her name is Golden, and her husband's name is Shower. So the
Yeah,
the
the golden showers wedding.
the headline in the paper is golden showers.
Right.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
very good. Anyways, yeah, you just can't make this stuff up. That's
That's right.
truth is stranger than fiction.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways,
And you also have to listen to Frank very carefully
Mm.
because I've noticed when I listen to him, he has two wives, a radio wife
yes,
and
Oh,
his
yeah.
his bride.
yes,
And he never says which one. He just says my wife.
yeah,
And I've heard him quote me
Yeah.
and I've heard him quote Tiffany
Yeah.
on different things.
Yeah.
And I have to chuckle.
yes. Well, because she's my radio wife.
Yes.
And in fact, sometimes I get little text messages from her and with the tagline at the bottom, your radio wife.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Mhm. So, oh
Yeah.
yes. And when your wife speaks, no matter who she is,
Right.
you
right.
listen.
You
Yeah.
listen.
Absolutely.
So are you planning any big trips beside or just to your daughters with the new motorhome?
Right now, the goal actually this month, I was supposed to be leaving. Actually, today this is the day I was planning on leaving to go ahead to Colorado to do some training over there.
Oh, this is the perfect time of year. Are you in Denver or outside of Denver?
It would be it's in some little town. It's called Louisville, in between Denver and Boulder.
Oh, okay. No matter where you are out there, it's beautiful. They just had snow the other day,
Did they?
Yes. They had a good dusting of snow. I talked to my friends out there and he raises roses. He's a gardener.
Yeah.
And he was out covering them because he didn't want anything to happen to them.
Right.
And then, it only takes a day or two and then it melts out. But I
Right.
couldn't believe that he sent me a picture of the snow in June.
No. Jeez.
So you have to take clothes for all weather when you go out there.
Yes. Texas is a little like that too. Texas can be bright, sunny, seemingly warm in the morning, and by afternoon, there's hail coming down, and there's
Oh, I've been to Dallas and Houston where you could fry an egg. You couldn't even breathe. It was so hot in the middle of summer.
yes, yeah.
So
So that was supposed to happen this month, and that got postponed. They couldn't quite get it ready for what they wanted, or opening up their training room for that. They weren't ready for that, so it's been moved to next month. So it looks like I might be on a month-by-month basis, maybe doing some training out and about. So
Very good.
that was one of the reasons I had behind the motorhome, being
Right.
able to do that and
Right.
not have to fly and not have to stay someplace.
Right. And have a little bit of control over your environment.
Yes.
There you go.
wonderful.
All right.
That's great.
Well, we're going to have to move along, but thank you so much for calling in and sharing all that great information with us. So we now are better informed about what's going on over at Blind Creek Beach.
Don't be a stranger. Call more often, even if you're in Texas. So you got the number.
Yes. So I'll do that, and we'll get caught up as we move through the year.
Very
Yes,
good.
we will. We'll unfold and open up.
There you go. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you,
All right,
Nelson.
talk to you later.
You have a great night. Have a happy weekend.
right.
We're back. Fort Nano's second.
Right.
Have we heard anything about St. Monica's and the fish fry?
The last I heard is everything's suspended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought because next week would be the week. And I thought now, since it's mostly takeout,
Yeah.
that maybe they could open up and take orders.
Yeah.
And you could.
We'll we'll get a hold of Donna, I guess, and see if we can get an insider.
Right. I haven't seen an email this month yet, but it's usually around now we get one.
Okay.
And I know you're probably missing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tiffany and I both.
Yep.
So, and we've got, believe it or not, we came in just in time to get ready to go.
Really?
So,
That's what I said.
yeah.
So everyone have a wonderful weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be nice tomorrow, but then rain starts on Sunday. Beach day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe boating tomorrow.
Social distancing. Boating
Right.
probably is the best way to do social distancing.
Right.
I think. Yeah.
Take your family out and enjoy the day.
There you go.
Ciao
All
for
right.
now. Another Friday.
We'll see you later.
Bye, Gerard.